Greetings, fellow defenders of the monastery. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval Oak Brethren. Episode 15, Druids Armed with Hatchets. Now, the question I have for you guys is, previously you had Tal planning to be the meleeer, and the question I have for you is, should we scrap that and have Mehelinda be the meleeer? In terms of her traits, she thrives in the cold, she drinks on the job, and she has lower motor function, which, that's not great for a meleeer. So, question for you guys, should the new recruit be our Brawler? She does have a passion in it, and Tal does not. So, just to back up a little bit, Frozen is going to be one of our Brawlers. He has a melee of 9 and a passion in it, and no passion of Marksman and a skill of 1, so that's kind of a no-brainer. Plus, he's a Brawler, right? And a strapping Brawler at that. So, Frozen is obviously one of our Brawlers. But the other Brawler, you know, could be the new person or could be Tal. And Tal doesn't have a proclivity towards brawling. No passion or anything, but no penalties either. A strapping Brawler? Yeah, so the talents that, here, let me hide myself. The talents that Frozen has is strapping, which is a melee plus 3. And a Brawler, which is melee plus 3, unarmored damage plus 30%. Now, unarmored damage plus 30% doesn't really matter, because he's going to have a sword. But those are the traits that he started with. Alright, we are 3 books away from beekeeping. Cool. And our tender is going to be Frozen. Okay. Wounds tended, and she's up and at him. Now, for now, you guys want her to be our Brawler. So for now, what I might end up doing anyway is giving her a short bow, because I really don't have the weapons for Brawlers. Basically, I don't have armor or weapons for Brawlers at all. So they're Brawlers eventually, but not right now. And it does look like she's going to become the Brawler, because she has some passions in it. And in 18 hours, a search party will arrive. It also means that we will want practice dummies. And then we'll want to make dummies. What is it? Sewing station. Okay. And do until we have 10. And that means we will be going through our hay a little bit faster as we train melee, but I do intend to train melee eventually. So the new person's name is Allie K. Congrats, Allie. And hopefully you'll survive longer than Rayback. Not rushing by any means. How far is siege equipment? So siege equipment is here, behind defensive structures, which requires textbooks and chronicles. And then this requires the research that you gain from the advanced research table. So it's not impossibly far away. But even if we started rushing to it, it's not going to have any effect on this search party that is arriving. The search party gets here well before we can prepare siege defenses. And she self-assigned her bedchambers. Perfect. I'm kind of hoping that Kadath will be able to bang out, and let's try to just bang out one set of armor for now. I'm hoping that Kadath bangs out one set of armor before, you know, the enemy comes, but, you know, who knows. All right, so next research for you guys to vote on. Shields and melee weapons are appended as 8 and 9. So shields would be at least kite shields. And then melee weapons, I would have a breakout poll for whether it's axes, maces, or swords. So axes are... each one has different benefits. Armor pen, blunt damage, or range. Like swords, you know, so it's like sort of rocks, paper, scissors. And I don't really care which we end up going for. Oh, it looks to me like Viking. Oh no, he's only level 7. So Viking, keep going. Because he was the one training. And you guys want shields. So shields is 30 and 15. Let's queue that up. Not going to have that in time for the fight. That's fine. How's the mail armor? Oh, good. So as you can see, the quality, I think the last one was like 19%, and it was fine iron. So steel is better. And I'm gonna hope to get a steel helmet out of them too. As Oak Bros, should we have axes? I don't know. I mean, you guys can ultimately vote. But I'll queue up for shields for this next one. Alright, how's our food? Now, for the search party, there's also going to be an option to negotiate, which I don't think is entirely unreasonable. We are pretty wealthy at this point, and we don't have anyone that can defend a gate yet. So, negotiating may be the smart play. But we do have a full perimeter of Merlins now. So the Merlin defenses are complete. Beehive Skeps. I don't love the idea of putting them outside to be raided, but we don't have a walled-in farm section. Perhaps in the future, but that project is not to be done right now. So let's get some Skeps out and get some honey for whatever purposes we need it. I don't know about running around with a cudgel. Like, I don't think my defenses should be like a wooden buckler and a cudgel. I could do it in a pinch, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I will. I'm gonna have Kadath make like a buckler and a cudgel just for this fight, in case we do end up fighting. But I'm gonna want to move away from a wooden buckler and a cudgel like as freaking fast as I can, because you know, sword and board don't work when it's sticks, you know. But mail helmet's good, and mail armor's good. Happy with both of those. And I'm gonna have Frozen toss on the mail helmet because it doesn't have a move speed. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'll leave them off until it's wartime. Search party is imminently coming. The swarthy jailers wanted your settler. Well, now Alec. So, the negotiations. I think what's probably best is we go talk to them to see what the cost is before we make an ultimate decision. Which means Manic comes out here and negotiates with Oda Gibbard. Just to see price, what they accept, etc., etc. So, if we try to make them an offer, they want the equivalent of 826. So that, and they are accepting things like, well, yeah, they're accepting things like cabbage, caps. I don't know if I have that kind of capital. I do have a lot of herbs, though. So that's more than they have weight for. The weight is honestly the issue. So we'd probably have to part with some sheep or goats to add to their ultimate carry weight. And so there we go. This here fulfills the negotiation, fulfills the requirements. Which is to say, it is possible to negotiate that, and I can always part with the mail armor I just made. It's worth a whole lot, and the bows or whatever, and then just remake them. So now that we know that we can afford the negotiation if we want to, do we negotiate with the jailers? Or should we defend? And the raid party that they're coming is like, what was it, 9 strong, I think? 2 archers and mostly melee. I'll give you 2.5 minutes to vote on that. Alright, we've got a buckler. Oh, superior buckler. That's a nice buckler. And then Kadath is sleeping, and in the morning he could make a cudgel. If we're trying to rush towards combat. And now that we have the skeps made, I am queuing up 50 honey to be produced by them. Wanda has given birth to Nibbles. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to name Wanda Offering. Because I think it's likely we're going to negotiate, just seeing how the poll's going, and I can at least offer Offering up as a offering. Did I remove the smelt mail job? Yeah, like long ago. I saw your multiple messages. I just ignored them because I had already done it. That, and on top of the smelt mail job, it was a one-off. So even if I hadn't removed it, it was only a one and done. I'd only ever do it once, and then it would be self-removed. Because anytime you queue up a job like this, it only does it once. I know my head's kind of in the way, but it's like amount 1. So you do it once, and then it says amount 0, and then it isn't done anymore. So it's It was foolproof, in other words. All right, you guys do want me to negotiate with them, so Manic. I think, let's double check, but yep, Manic definitely has the highest speechcraft. So Manic, come out here to the negotiator, and thwart the attack with diplomacy at this time. So, we're going to make him an offer. I think I'm going to part because it's a lot of bang for our buck. Basically, produced goods is going to be a lot cheaper for us than raw goods. So I want to part with our produced goods and just have Kadath make new mail armor. I think that's going to be probably the way to go. So where is offering? Oh, there it is. Offering the goat. Give up all our coins. And we are then... Buckler, I'm going to give up. I'm going to stop the cudgel. Because we don't need to give that up. Raw meat. I want to keep the steel if I can. Red currants. Herbs, because that's a lot of herbs. Wow, we are very close to having that done. And then some cabbage. I'm actually going to offer them more cabbage and then reduce the herbs. There. Accept. And they extorted us, but that means we don't have to fight this round. Because I don't think I was all that prepared to fight. I didn't have a full set of arms or armor. And it would be honestly pretty reckless to start a fight without the means to win. Viking, you are marksman 8. So yeah, we're still training. And we're definitely going to get to a point where we're going to be able to defend ourselves far more effectively. But I think it's smart to not push it and risk it. We risked it last stream and it didn't end well. We lost an important member. So after we research shields, what do you want to research thereafter? So here are some choices. We've got stone cutting, barrels for fire, furniture 2 for better furniture to sleep on, ice making if you want ice making, defensive structures 3 for better gates, crossbows if you want better range, research 3 if you want more options, and then melee weapons if you want to decide on a specific melee weapon. Axes, maces, swords. And Kadath is, I believe... Oh, damn! Already done with a fine mail helmet. That was fast. Faster than I expected. And it's a better helmet than we had before because, of course, he's using his experience making the last set of armor to make a nicer set this time around. I mean, there's chance involved, but still. Alright, another thing I want to do is the torches around the base. I'm going to allow wood because we're really low on sticks. We've been treating sticks as our, like, our primary fuel source, but it's going to run out. And then for the kitchen, Don't use coal for meals. Don't use coal. All right, there we go. And we don't have any of the braziers lit, but eventually when we do, I'll make sure to use wood as well. Basically, don't burn coal because we don't have infinite coal, but wood and sticks is fine. Also, totally don't need these torches. At some point, when I don't have more pressing, urgent things to do, I'll get rid of this barn and set up an actual animal place. We're just a bit too busy for a project like that. So, melee weapons 1, let's say. I know I only gave half the time, but what melee weapon to research? Axes, maces, swords. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the easy way to explain this is axes are particularly good at splitting shields, I think. Maces are good against armor, and swords is good against unarmored. So axes have armor damage, armor pen. So maces have higher armor damage, building damage, but lower damage overall. Yep, lower damage overall. And then swords have the highest damage, but are bad against armor. But have range, I guess. And shields is done. So, with that in mind, we want to get a shield. And these shields are made of wood? Okay. We're going to do until we have 1. And if it's low quality, we'll be destroyed, and then we'll just do it again. You soon enemies will start using better armor. A lot of the quality that the enemies use is based upon colony wealth. So as you become wealthier, you become a bigger target. So on the region map here, you have something called region influence. As your settlement grows, as does your influence in the region. To gain influence, you must enrich your wealth by amassing resources and constructing buildings. Victory in battle and repelling enemies will increase your influence even faster. Reaching 100% influence means your settlement is the most influential in the region, which also drives up raids. So, winning fights and being wealthy makes the game harder, would be the TLDR. It is autumn. And you guys want axes. Okie dokie. So, axes is a 30-20. So let's queue up 30-20 to do. And Alley K is already fitting in. Doing a bunch of research. How many more books can the library hold? I don't know. It's a bunch. I mean, we have a bunch of empty shelves still. It will be more obvious when it fills up, because then it will be books on the floor that we don't have space for. So, Kadath is crafting... Oh, wait. Manic. Ah, there we go! Viking... No. What happened to the bow? Oh, I sold it. That's right. That's right. Okay. I thought Viking had hit his threshold. No, he needs more training. We traded away the bow for Ali K, and that's what Kadath was making a bow for. I was like, didn't we have a bow already? Yeah, we did. I got rid of it. Duh. All right, combined food. How are we doing on the... Oh, blighted crops. Great! Plant dying, blight. So the plants that have like a tar-like look to them need to be cut or it's going to get bad. So I'm going to micromanage LK to cut the blight ASAP. Okay, apparently still more. Oh, God. Yeah, there were a whole bunch over here. Okie dokie. Who is our other farmer? Manic? Alright, Manic, I'm going to have you come over here and start cutting the blight, because we're going to have a lot of crop loss if I don't get ahead of this. Plant reaping mishandled. Don't worry about it. It was blighted. You weren't going to eat it anyway. Well, that's not true. I mean, technically it yields, but not really. Very, very little. Okay. Blight's been cleared. Good. Whoa! That is a nice bow. Flawless. Alright, Zent. It's all you, dude. That's a lot more hit points for the quality, so it will last a lot longer. Pretty nice. And now he's making shields and then mail armor. I think we still need probably more steel for the mail armor. Yeah, we have 52 out of the 60 steel. So, to that end, the bottleneck here is probably iron ingots. But we have plenty of raw iron nuggets, so it's just having people manage the smelter. In fact, it might not be a terrible idea to have parallel smelting. Getting a second smelter out. The issue with that is because we turn all of our clay, like, immediately into... tiles, I might need to pause the tiling. Or clay bricks rather, so that we can actually build the smelter, because otherwise everything's been earmarked for bricks. So no, I haven't, oh, yeah, we're still training. I know I haven't built anything in a while, but most of what we needed to do was prepare for, like, actual combat, and that takes a surprising amount of time. So, Tazandis, to answer your question, are there really a place for swords in the game? Some of the enemies that you get attacked on later on will be like an army of archers that have leather armor, but really, really, really high DPS. So there is a place for swords in the game, because what you can do is you can sally out with your, like, plate armored dude and just, like, mow down enemy archers. Basically turtle up to not give them a target, lure them to your door, and then just, like, slice them down. So I actually had a previous run of mine, of going medieval, where, like, a giant enemy army of archers took me out, because I just didn't have, like, the proper tank to deal with it. So surprisingly enough, yes, there is like just about always a place for archers. Okay, there we go. We got some parallel smelting. At some point, I'll probably want to put these behind my wall somewhere, but I'm not worried about that just yet. We got more pressing stuff. So I'm going to unpause one of these kilns and leave the other ones paused. Vikings at 9 now. He hasn't maxed out for the day. I'm really hoping he hits 10 so I can start training someone new. Oh, goodness. The other question I have is, have we had a batch of honey yet? No, I'm still at 0. I might have started honey too late in the season. It's best to start it in the spring, of course, so that during the warmer months, you're getting honey. So I might have queued it up too late. Getting pretty close to having axes down. And then we need new research. So let's make sure all the things that make most sense are covered. I'm not going to worry too much about decorative structures just yet. I suppose there's brewing and oil pressing that I've yet to do. So I'll add that to the list. So brewing allows you to brew ale, and then oil pressing allows you to make oils. Oils is for flammable oil that you can use defensively or stuff like that. If it's quieter at some point, would I expand again in the future to expand the cloister? I don't know what you mean. Like, are you asking if would I continue building? God, they're loud. Note to self, never zoom in there. Alright, one more chronicle and we got axes. Axes also unlocks throwing axes. And, I think I'm gonna not go with, like, throwing weapons, mostly due to their low range. I'd rather kill enemies... Like, so if the enemies have archers and you have throwing axes, their archers can shoot at you while your throwing axemen can't hit them. So... a lot of the throwing weapons like javelins and axes are nice when you're running out to attack them, but they're weapons more for attackers, not defenders, in other words. And I think it even says that somewhere in the tooltips. But tomorrow morning, we'll have axes unlocked, and then it looks like we're going to get some stone cutting. That's a good shield. And Kadath finally finished 1 set of mail armor, and after we get 1 set of mail armor, what I want to do is I want to get an axe, and then I want to start working on the second set. So now that we have axes, I'm going to do, we're going to queue up hatchets, because I want a one-hander, I don't want a two-hander, because I want to be able to defend. So it's going to be a hatchet made of steel only. And we're going to do until we have one of them. And I'm hoping the first hatchet I make at least hits the minimum requirement. Did the mail armor? Flimsy! Oh, well, shoot. I guess we have to make armor again. Rolled a fat 0 there. That sucks. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize Viking became a restitutionist at some point. He was originally not. How many bedrooms do we have? 10. At the moment. Here we go. Viking now has hit Marksman 10. Viking's going to be given a fine bow. And the next person to train. Maybe Tal Marksman? Oh, I just realized Tal can already get a longbow. So I think Kadath is the only one that can't get a longbow, but the problem is Kadath is really busy making armor. So what I might end up doing is do melee training. But for that I need an axe ahead of time. So the next training is probably going to be melee. And it's going to wait until we get an axe. Man, that sucks about that mail armor. It was... That's a lot of extra work. Merchant. Sweet. So, Kadath, I think, is already making the next mail armor, or maybe the axe. Not sure which. And Manic, let's have you go barter. So I got rid of all my gold coins. Last time we had people trying to exploit us at the gate, which is unfortunate, because now I have a bit of a lack of coin. But at the moment, we aren't really using our leathers. So maybe we trade leather for coins. One of the reasons that I prefer to have coins on hand is coins are obviously the lightest. And in being the lightest, when we need to negotiate, they're very convenient because of their weight. They don't really have a lot that I want to... Oh, that was going backwards. They don't really have a lot that I want to purchase off of them. Rough wine, stews, wooden mechanical... Eels, if I want to skip fishing. Carrot seeds. Apparently I have none. I don't know how that happened. I'll just buy their seeds and bank them. Good enough. It's weird to be buying the brick, but whatever. You did want me to research stone cutting. So with that in mind, just 20 books is required. So let's go ahead and pause the textbooks entirely. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval Oak Brethren, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow brethren.